arriving in the mission field, we flew out of Lima for a 2-hour flight into Trujillo. We got there at night, couldn't see a whole lot. Our mission president and a few of the leader missionaries in the mission were there. They met us on this bus. We loaded up all of our gear, and they took us on like a mini tour of the city that night. It was just dark. I remember seeing the city lights. I was like, whoa, this place is amazing. And the Spirit was just communicating so strongly. It was overwhelming. They dropped us off at this hotel where we spent our first night. And one of the missionaries from my group, we call them our generations, one of the missionaries from my generation, we stepped off the bus together. His name was Elder Lemon. And I looked over at him, and he looked at me, and he was like, "You feel that, right?" And I just said, "Yeah." And I knew that I was where I was assigned to be. I knew that I'd been called to serve the mission, but I finally felt like I was where I was assigned to be. I wasn't sure what awaited me, but I knew I was where the Lord wanted me and needed me at that moment. After short interviews with our mission president the next morning, we had an early lunch, and then we met in a tiny transfer meeting, and we got to meet who our trainers were. My trainer, his name was Elder Feril. He was amazing. Probably one of the most stalwart missionaries I've ever known. Yeah. I didn't understand a whole lot of what he said because I didn't speak Spanish still. After 9 weeks of Spanish instruction, I still couldn't understand a whole lot. And he worked with me very hard on my language. And I remember he spoke a few things in English. I remember he told me that he hates spicy food. That was one of the phrases he'd learned. But we went to this tiny town called Pacasmayo, and that's where I did a lot of growing. It's an amazing little town with amazing people. And my trainer, Elder Ferril, I couldn't have asked for a better trainer or companion to kind of work me into missionary service and work me into the culture of Peru. I loved it. I just remember being so not dizzy, but like disoriented. After about 2 nights in my first area, we went to a mission. What was it called in Spanish? We met with the ward mission leader and other leaders from the ward and, the branch. We were a little branch. The branch mission leader and other leaders from the branch. We showed up and we had this amazing meeting. I didn't understand anything. Probably there were a lot of jokes because everyone laughed, and I just kind of had to smile and but we got out of the chapel, and it was dark. It was time to go home, and my companion starts walking to the right. I was like, "Elder Ferril, where are you going? Isn't it time to go home?" And he turned back to me. He said, "That's where we're going." I was so backwards. I had no idea which was north, south, east, west. I still couldn't quite navigate this tiny town called San Pedro de Yoc. It was quite amazing. I'll never forget that. And it got better. I could orient myself fairly well my second and third weeks, but that first week was rough.